Hello, I had my first freestyle with the freestyle this morning, and learned a couple important things. That when you make adjustments and you had already used Loctite, make sure that you re-Loctite and don't assume that the old Loctite, even though the screw goes in a little difficult, will still hold your screws in, because it doesn't. I had a drive shaft fly out. Luckily I found this part and I had spare parts, so I was able to put it back together and put together a little video for it. There was a little bit of carnage. All in all, the truck was pretty cool, and there's still a couple things that I would like to change about the freestyle design or whatever, and some things that I want to upgrade on my own, I guess, is what I'll do. But here's my truck after our little bash. You can see that these screws came out, and that made it handle pretty bad. It kept twisting because you don't have the sway bar in the rear end anymore. And it did bend slightly. I don't know if you can see it, but it did bend a little bit before those screws backed out. I did not Loctite those. I should have. I assumed that they were tight. And the front end sway bar did not survive at all. Something happened with the steering, and I will turn it on so it's in neutral. After a couple jumps, my steering is whacked over there, so I'm gonna have to take it apart, see if maybe the servo arm stripped. I mean, I've got this on here, so it shouldn't have, but yeah, a little bit of carnage. And the last thing I'm gonna have to do is put some sort of bump stop in the rear, because you can see where it was banging on the chassis. Not terrible damage. You don't want that, especially when the sway bar stopped working. That side really was banging, so I gotta come up with some solution for that. Otherwise, it was pretty cool. The super shafty drive shafts are nice, durable. I think I'm gonna paint little red stripes on them so they're easier to find in the grass. But yeah, it was this part that I didn't Loctite, and after just a little bit outside, it came all apart. I had Loctited it before, taken it apart, but when I had built the whole truck, I had a 17-tooth pinion in here, and it was way too fast for freestyling, at least for me, with a 4600 kV motor. So I went down to a 14-inch. I had taken all this apart, put it all together. The screw was tight. My mistake. I gotta throw some Loctite in there next time. So I gotta go through, figure out the steering, sway bars. I've got material, hardened material coming in to make new bars. And I'll do an update on that as it comes. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I'm gonna include the video of me doing a few backflips. You can see my offset cab. Did the new dash back 1/2 inch. Did this little bolt-on bracket there, and then this little roll bar thing here, so that my cab would be back 1/2 inch more than the stock, so that it would fit the ram body. The shocks, I had a little bit of difficulty. They would not work with more than half fluid in them, so you don't get a lot of dampening out of them. I'm gonna have to work with that. And when I was on the website for Freestyle, the mount is up here. And if you put the mount here, it bends this shaft, pushing this arm in when it flexes. If you put it directly underneath, this arm binds on here. So I couldn't get it to work putting that mount up here for this. I put it down here, I extended this another 200 thousandths, and it seems to work great. I just have to put a bump stop in there, and I want to replace this rod in here that goes across with something harder, and I'll have to do that with the front because you see how bent that got. So all in all, pretty fun. I liked it, so I recommend it.